In 2024, the GOAT debate is so outplayed and tired out due to there not being an actual conversation about basketball ability. A lot of the current GOAT debates that you see in your barbershops or on national TV and the media, thanks by the way, is based off of nostalgia. Now, with that being said, I completely understand if your GOAT is the other 23, Michael Jordan, if it's Kobe Bean Bryant, or the former all time leading scorer, Kareem Abdul Jabbar. But what I'm going to do today is explain why I genuinely believe that the 2017 2018 versions of LeBron James is the best individual player of all time. During this playoff run, he would have the most points in a single postseason entering the NBA Finals of all time, passing Hakeem, MJ, KD, and himself. He would go on to have 8 40-point games in the 2018 playoffs, including a masterful 51-point game one performance. And while people oftentimes like to associate 2012, 2013 version LeBron James as the best version of him, and I'm not even going to argue with you on that, right? Because I think it definitely has its own place. That I think is probably the most dominant version of LeBron James. That's where he's at his peak form athletically. That's where he was arguably, one of the best perimeter defenders in all of basketball. But 2018 LeBron James, I think, is undisputably the most complete and well-rounded offensive player we have ever seen. And despite the fact that I mentioned that Miami LeBron is probably him at his peak athletically, that doesn't mean that LeBron isn't more athletic, bigger, faster, stronger than 95% in the league at this point. Blows by Steph here. Kevon Looney's just too little, and he gets a incredible and one in the clutch in game one. Here he blows by an all-time generational defender in Draymond Green. Like it's nothing. He gets an easy layup to start off the game. In this possession, he just bullies Sean Livingston and gets an amazing dunk. He is doing this with ease. People talk about LeBron in 2012 being peak LeBron. That means nothing when he's still able to do this at a ridiculous level in 2018. It's safe to say that 2017 2018 LeBron James is one of the best finishers of all time due to his obviously peak athleticism and his size, frame, and speed. But it's the fact that he was able to just get to the rim almost at will. He shot 71% at the rim this season, which is ridiculous. And he's also just a paint touch magnet where he's doing it by himself. LeBron James this season, in terms of unassisted rim field goals attempted per 75 possessions, which essentially means how many shots are you getting at the rim that are solely because of you and your ability to get to the rim? LeBron James ranked in the 98th percentile at this category. He was absolutely unstoppable in terms of his downhill finishing ability. He ranked in the 88th percentile in terms of contact finish rate per B-ball index. LeBron James was doing this while getting all the attention in the world, and rightfully so. And then that also leverages into his playmaking ability, where LeBron James is genuinely one of the greatest playmakers the game has seen, especially over the past, 2.5 decades or so, where you'll see the graphic here on your screen. LeBron James in almost every single major playmaking category per B-ball index graded out with an A plus. That's just how good of a player and dynamic a player LeBron James was back in 2018. LeBron James at this point is obviously still like the best finisher in the NBA, probably by far, right? But not only is he that, he's obviously a generational playmaker and one of the five or so highest IQ basketball individuals the game has ever seen, for being completely honest here. So now we're putting 6'9", 250 pounds of just, size, athleticism, and skill, and just quite frankly being bigger, faster, stronger than 95% of the competition. You also are putting into that, again, the brain of one of the five, smartest basketball players arguably of all time. And I think what LeBron's honestly greatest skill, if we're talking about like offensive playmaking, is what I'm going to call his pre-catch read. It's the ability to, you might not even have the ball yet, but it's the ability to position players, around the floor where they need to go and know that what you're going to do as soon as you catch the ball, just based off the floor, how the floor is spaced out, how the defense is already playing you pre-catch. I think LeBron James is one of the 5 to 10, maybe, maybe he's the best at this particular aspect of his game
that out of anybody we've seen in the past 20, 25 years or so. This leverages it to his playmaking ability. This levels it to his jump shooting ability, which we will talk about in just a sec. Like LeBron is perfect in the damn near perfect, excuse me, in that regard. And that's what honestly helps makes this playoff run, because that's what we're kind of focusing on here, the 2018 playoff run, so complete, is that you have the finishing, the all-time level finishing ability. You have the damn near all-time just demoralizing level of shot making, and you combine that with his basketball IQ, his playmaking ability, and that's why you have, in my opinion, like I said, the most complete player, definitely offensively, we have ever seen. Now, wait, if you're still watching this video, do me a quick favor. It takes 2 seconds. Hit that like button and subscribe here to the channel if you are new. And leave a comment down below. What historical film breakdown do you guys want to see next? I was planning on doing and revisiting 2014 Kevin Durant, one of the more underrated peaks, I feel like, at this point. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I got a bunch of great content on the way. Now, let's get back to this breakdown.
This possession is a great example what I was talking about with LeBron is pre-catch read and be able to make a decision without having to ever waste a dribble. So we see here the Cavs go to their elbow series with Bron. They have Kevin Love getting this corner pin down or trying to get this corner pin down from J.R. Smith. He rejects it because they top lock the screen. And when Kevin Love cuts back door, LeBron James recognizes that Draymond Green immediately tags on the cut in order to prevent a wide open layup. So LeBron, quickly recognizing this, flows right into a ball screen with Tristan Thompson, and a good screen from Tristan Thompson means that LeBron is naked open, and now he's able to just settle for this mid-range jumper and easily knocks this down. This is a nice set by Ty Lue, give him credit, but this is LeBron just being a smart decision maker and going, okay, cool, Draymond, you want to tag on the cut? Cool, I'm going to go into the next progression and knock down this easy jumper and be fine with it and not try to force anything on that pass. LeBron James operated like a surgeon in the mid-range area during this playoff run, where he shot 48.8% on all mid-range pull-up attempts, which are ranked 6th among qualified players throughout this playoff run. The only ones better, Chris Middleton, his current coach, his new coach rather, JJ Redick, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, and then John Wall. That is great company to be in. Oh, and by the way, LeBron took more mid-range pull-up attempts than everybody on this list, except for Kevin Durant and John Wall. So not only is LeBron shooting the most out of almost anybody on the list, he is shooting them at a ridiculously high percentage, to the point where a whole country or whole city got renamed after him, and it was LeBronto, which like is appropriate to now talk about how dominant he was in that Toronto Raptors series. To say that LeBron James tormented the Toronto Raptors at this point is just an understatement. Whatever that is times 10 is what he did to the number one seeded Toronto Raptors that had home court advantage. That felt like this was their year. The Raptors had coach of the year, Dwayne Casey, but LeBron James didn't care about any of that. He didn't care about any of that. He wanted to put all the narratives to bed. And this is what LeBron James did instead in this second round affair against the Toronto Raptors. You guys see the stats on the screen. It's flat out ridiculous. He averaged 34 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, almost 2 steals, a block, all while playing over 41 minutes a night. And while doing so, LeBron James hit a buzzer beater game winner at home in game 3. He turned Toronto into LeBron to win game 2 and just hitting mid-range jumper after fadeaway jumper after pull-up 3. And there was seemingly nothing the Raptors could do about it.
Felt like any stupid, tired old narrative that was already broken, that LeBron is a clutch, or LeBron is an elite scorer, or LeBron has no bag, or LeBron's a bad jump shooter. Like, those were all disproven in this playoff run.
And a lot of the contest and defense on these possessions were really, really good, and give credit to the Raptors, but LeBron just said it didn't matter. OG does a great job contesting him here in game 1, and LeBron just hits the fadeaway. The Raptors fans probably have PTSD about watching this video. This possession in game 2, LeBron does a good job using the ball screen and snaking it and keeping OG Anunoby at bay by keeping him in jail, and is able to get to a nice little pocket in the mid-range area and knocks down the mid-range jumper. And when LeBron James is hitting the mid-range game at this level, like he was honestly all playoff run, but it just was at a heightened level in this Raptors series, he was unstoppable to guard. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know what Pascal Siakam has to do better here. He does a good job of not giving LeBron enough space to drive and blow by him to the basket. But LeBron with a quick jab, and he still has that explosive quick twitch at this point to where he's able to create enough space to get to that baseline pull-up jumper. And this shot, along with the fadeaway on the right side of the floor, I mean, the fadeaway in general, it didn't matter where he was at. LeBron James, like we already talked about, was an unconscious mid-range jump shooter throughout this playoff run. And again, this isn't even bad defense. OG Anunoby does a great job at denying the ball, nearly getting a steal. Does a good job in not giving LeBron a ton of space, but LeBron with the half spin into a just unfair fadeaway jumper. Sure, there's some stuff that I actually wished the Toronto Raptors did a little bit more schematically. Like maybe you send some more pre-catch doubles, things like that. I think they let LeBron play one-on-one a little bit too much. But in terms of execution from the defender, this is as good as it gets. A premium defender, a premier defender, excuse me, in the NBA. And LeBron just made it seem like he wasn't there. It just didn't matter.
I think with everything we've talked about in this video, LeBron's combination of size, speed, and athleticism, his all-time finishing ability at the rim, his generational playmaking and passing ability, and just basketball IQ in general, combined with the fact that he was arguably the most lethal self-created jump shooter in this playoff run, and you combine that with the individual like game performances as well in comparison with the roster he had to work with, there is just flat out no reason that this team or no way that this team should have made the NBA finals. Hell, the conference finals even was kind of a miracle in and of itself that they made it that far. But LeBron James having 7 different 40-point games, an additional legendary 51-point performance in game 1 of the NBA Finals, I think is my real argument for why LeBron James, this version, 2018 LeBron James, is the most complete player in NBA history. And therefore, probably, I think the best offensive player I've ever seen with my own eyes. And we'll take that with whatever you want to. But this is my argument for LeBron being the greatest player of all time. And I hope you guys enjoy this breakdown. Let me know what other breakdowns you guys want to see in the comment section below. I have a bunch of great stuff on the way. I have a college football rebuild coming. I have my power ranking series continuing. I will release my number 28th ranked team tomorrow. So please make sure you guys subscribe here to the channel and leave a like if you guys enjoyed this stuff. Until next time, everybody. See ya, stay safe, and peace out.